Gary Spencer Smith from Revenue Real Estate Education, and this is video number 1 of how to use real estate to fund your life for the Canadian Real Estate Network. So in this video, I want to just give an example of some hows and whys that you can use real estate to help benefit you in your life. Now, everyone, they think of real estate, they think of property, they want to own property, and normally the reason they think of that is because they think they're going to generate money. And then what people don't think about is what they're going to do with that money. So what are they going to create it? Or even how they can use that to fund their life. So some of the reasons that we work with our investors and the people that we work with, the most common one that we work with, and this is one of the things we specialize in, is income to retire. Income to retire. So what happens is people have either not saved enough, or they're looking at their pension fund and realizing that the income that they want to live off is not going to sustain the lifestyle that they lead. To lead this lifestyle, I call it the paradise lifestyle, that costs an amount of money. So one of the things you need to figure out and really calculate for yourself is to assess what that lifestyle is going to look like for you. Do you want a new car every year, every 3 years, every 5 years? Are you happy driving an older car? Do you want to go out for meals once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week? Do you want a holiday every year, 2 holidays, 3 holidays? Do you want to have a nice Christmas? Do you want to, what kind of clothes do you want to buy? Like all these things you got to factor into what is in your lifestyle and how much that's going to cost. And then you can start to look at how you can use real estate as part of that plan when you do it correctly. So one of the ideas that I had, when I was really young, basically I bought a townhouse. So we sit and bought one townhouse. And when I purchased that townhouse, the idea was that as the mortgage gets paid down over time, you know, the tenant's going to go in there. It didn't make a lot of money. It made, I think it was like $87 a month was the profit after all the bills were paid. And we talk about cash flow as well later on. After all the bills were paid, it made $87 a month. Now that $87 a month, I didn't care about that $87 a month. What I cared was the mortgage was getting paid down over time. Over 15 years, the mortgage was going to be paid down about $80,000. $80,000. So 15 years, if the house price never, ever increases, I would have had $80,000 just off the tenant paying down that mortgage. That $80,000, that was going to pay for college for my kids. My kids went to college, that was where the money was going to come from. Now, a lot of people, they'll take their pre-tax money, they'll put it into an RESP or into a savings fund or into something else, and then they'll save up for the kids to go to college, or they wait till their kids go to college and get a loan, and then they've got to pay that loan back over time. This way, some tenant was actually going to put money into a pot that was going to allow for my kids to be paid to go to college and university and for their education. Now, the beauty of having this is, if my kids decide not to go to college or university, this money is now mine to do with whatever I wish. I can sell the house. There are some tax implications. We got to drop the pen there. There are some tax implications when you decide to sell a house, capital gains taxes, all that. These are things that you want to discuss with your accountant about what you're trying to do. But one of the things that I use, and we explain this in another video, is if people want to use an income, you figured out what you want to do in retirement. You know that you need X amount of dollars. So let's just say that that amount of money that you need is $30,000. Okay? You know you've got a bit of a pension, you need to top up by $30,000 to sustain that lifestyle. Or let's say that you're only in your 20s or 30s, and every few years you want to get an extra $20,000, $30,000 because you want to go on a spectacular holiday, you want to go on a safari, you want to go, the type of holiday that's going to cost you $20,000, $30,000. But you don't want to save for it, or you might not have the cash to save for it. So you buy one house. Every 5 to 6 years, you're going to have about $30,000 of principal pay down. Principal pay down. So the mortgage is going to get paid down by the tenant that lives in that. That $30,000, you can now refinance the house, get a line of credit. There's various ways of borrowing. I don't want to get too in depth, but you basically borrow that $30,000, take it back to where it was on day one, and you can put $30,000 into your pocket tax-free. Now, if you buy 2 houses, let's say you get a second house in in a few years. A few years down the line, 5 years, you put 30,000 in your pocket. The next year, you refinance another 30,000. Now you get 3 houses. Like, you don't have to go on the safari. You could use this money and compound it as a deposit on this house. This one is a deposit on this house. And then you start to create a portfolio of investments. Once you've got to that number that you need, all of a sudden you start to generate $30,000 to $50,000 every year, rotating through these properties to help fund your life. Real estate should be funding your life. You don't want it to be your life. Now, what if you've got time, energy, you know that real estate's where you want to go, you see the benefits of owning real estate. I mean, if you're watching these videos, you're obviously interested in real estate. But there needs to be a question that you ask yourself. You want to ask yourself, are you wanting to work in real estate and generate an income as well as creating wealth? Or do you want to work with real estate to create wealth because your time is valued more? So our investors that we work with, our private investors, they put 0 of their time into the investments because they work with real estate to generate wealth. Myself, I work in real estate and with real estate. So my daily life is involved in real estate. We do the property management. We do the general contracting on our renovations where we're creating value back into our properties. So the main thing is, and this is why when we have real estate, what number of money do you need? And we're going to have a sheet that you can fill out to answer these questions. You're also going to ask, what amount of money do you want? And then the third one is, how is real estate going to help you? Because there are many strategies and many ways to make money and generate money around real estate. We've got buy and hold strategies. You've got rent to own strategies. You've got flipping houses. Each has their pros and cons. Each has variations in it. You could just be, buying a house, decide that you're going to force the appreciation in that house by doing some renovations on the house. And then you're going to refinance it, put some tenants in a buy and hold, and then take that money and get to your next house and progress through. There are lots of ways of doing it. But the question you've got to ask yourself is, what do you need? What do you want? And we're talking money-wise. How is the real estate going to help you in that? And are you willing to work in real estate? So are you going to do the work yourself, or are you just going to work with real estate to help fund your life? This is just an insight as to how real estate can help fund your life. Get the spreadsheet and the worksheet that is part of this video to download. This is just video 1 of a series of 8. So watch all 8 videos, do the worksheets, and then you'll help start on the process from getting your first, second, third, or whatever number of properties that you want to get to. I'm Gary Spencer Smith from Rental House Profits and Revenue Real Estate Education. We're doing this for the Canadian Real Estate Network, and I look forward to seeing you in video number 2.